Oh my god! Is this thing on?
Well, howdy ho to all the hoes around the world. Welcome to Uncensored Radio for UCR Live. It must be Friday in Australia and Thursday night in America. We are back at it again. Like, bad breath.
We can't
Here to just
stop.
remind you that life would never get any better. My name is Steve, and with me this week I have three lovely folks. We have the bodacious Brookie down the bottom there, looking very Pleasantville, as we've discussed. How are you today, gorgeous?
Feeling very 1950s black and white housewife. Thank you very much for asking. I'm about to pop out and make the husband dinner, so it's ready for him when he gets home as expected.
Sure you are.
You're not serving him the hot dog balls?
No. Look, I'll eat the balls all on my own. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anyone who's watching, what is your opinion on hot dog balls?
Can you show the balls?
Show the balls.
Oh God.
Hot dog balls.
They're delicious.
I have questions.
I have feelings.
Tell me, what is your question?
I have a lot of feelings.
She doesn't even go here.
Of course, it wouldn't be UCR Live without the vivacious Vera. How are you today?
I am, well, I don't know. How am I? It's been a questionable week. I got my hair cut on Monday. It is now Thursday, and not one person has mentioned it.
It is shorter. I was gonna say, but I didn't know if you'd because last week you hadn't showered, remember? I was like, I don't know if maybe that's just like the humidity, but it is shorter.
It is shorter, fresh. I know.
And she's got her
ice
soda.
And we missed Jeffrey. We're happy that Jeffrey's back.
I know. We can't bury the lead. Mr. Jeffrey Emmett has returned to us. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. We had 2 birthdays. It's been busy. It's been crazy. I'm a little burnt. I spent some time in the lake for the kids' birthdays, and yeah, on we go. Here we go. Choo choo choo.
That's what happens.
I don't even know
when you get outside, Jeffrey. You're allowed outside.
I know.
Yeah, it's the first time. Everybody's been sick all summer, and now I'm getting sick again. So I just, yay!
Why do you keep getting the COVID?
I don't know. Just lucky, I guess.
He's gifted that way.
Because you're living in the red state.
There we go. Look. I'm hungry for balls.
He's hungry for
Beautiful
balls.
words. Ace Browning. Thank you so much. And Lashana, hello. Have you been to the New Kids on the Block concert yet?
She sent pictures to me, and I didn't send them to you. I'm so sorry.
Rude. That's okay. We'll look at them later.
Yes.
I'm very jealous.
They're fabulous.
Very jealous. Now, of course, this week we had the it's not really a premiere, but we call it a comeback of Guilty Pleasures. Now, Jeffrey, Emmett, you people have something to answer for, you naughty children.
The reboot.
You naughty children.
Were they naughty? I didn't get to see it.
They're always naughty on that show. Look at him.
It gets worse as the show goes on. It started off tame, right? So there's actually, it's going to be fun because later on we'll do like the lost original first episode, because that was what aired wasn't really the first episode, and I had to cut a bunch of stuff out because we filmed it like the day after the Oscars. So there was some stuff in there about the Oscars, right? And the show kind of develops over time. So this show gets more and more raunchy as we go on. We're just talking about sex topics.
Huge surprise.
I'm stunned.
Yeah. Who could imagine? Who
I'm
could
shocked
imagine?
and appalled.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah.
I'm disgusting.
yeah.
Won't somebody please think of the children? That's all I have to say.
Nobody. Fuck them children.
Fuck them kids. We had this conversation last week. You were watching, Jem. Fuck them kids. We did have this conversation last week. Good times. Well, it's lovely to see you and lovely to have everyone joined around our tiny digital campfire of truth, love, and joy. Interesting. I don't know where that came from. But I know I'm just full of it. Oh, here we go.
Crows.
We've got on Vogue came out the Rick
Oh,
Astley.
he's never gonna give you up.
He is. We all got
Never
Rick
gonna let you
rolled.
down. Never gonna
Danny
turn
was
around.
all up in my shit. Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, Rick rolled.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't mind a bit
Nice.
of the new kids have kind of aged quite well for what they'd be 50, right? Something now, right?
We stalked them. We followed them to a few concerts, and some woman threw some granny panties up on stage, and they were very, very large. And
It wasn't
and
me.
It wasn't
No.
me either.
and Danny got them, and he's like holding them up, and everybody's like losing their mind. He's like, "What? I like big girls."
It was Jeffrey's panties, wasn't it?
It was.
It was. He'd want to make sure that they were,
Clean.
I would have
Fresh
thrown
and
them.
clean.
I would have thrown them
Pretty.
to Joey
You
though.
want to be a pretty pair.
Joey was my. That was my crush as a kid.
the McIntyre. Ooh.
Yeah.
Joey, you're so dreamy.
WWE.
I love you came too late. You know what I mean? Like
Who came too late?
that was his single when he tried to do his own thing.
Oh,
It was
I
on
was like,
TRL.
who came-
Remember? Jesus,
Apparently not.
just
Well, they
can't.
weren't.
Let's
The solo stuff wasn't that big over here.
No, it
Oh.
wasn't.
It was only really the group
Yeah.
stuff that was big here in Australia.
Sometimes I just forget that we're in different countries.
I
Here we
know.
go.
It's easy
Here's
to
what they're
forget.
looking like at the moment. They're on tour, as we've discovered. Come on, boys, where are you? Look, they're not even boys; they're men.
Oh, they are men.
They're all
Look at
looking
'em.
pretty good,
They don't
Hey,
look
Johnny.
good.
considering some other boy bands are not looking that fresh. It's like, okay, that's all right. You rock on.
We won't name names.
We won't name names.
That's
98 degrees. 98 degrees. NSYNC. No, the Backstreet Boys are pretty tight. Their tours started again. I've seen, and they're all dancing and singing like their little asses off. Like, you go, fellas. You do you. You do you.
Don't
All
they
right, let's
all?
get into it, shall we? We got
Of
things to
course.
discuss, people to mock, all that good stuff. This week's
Hot load of hot topics.
is here and ready to discuss. Well, we're not going to talk about.
We're not.
Because we just talked about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Where should we start this week?
I have no idea. Surprise me.
Where should we start? Are you a fat, ugly pig?
Always.
Oh, fuck you.
Because
Oh, God.
according to this fine gentleman,
This fucking fuck. Let's call a spade a spade.
With the McDonald's eyebrows, okay, and who has to pay underage girls allegedly for sex, is talking about what women look like. And God
I gotta
bless him,
tell
because
you,
Olivia has made so much money off this.
so much money. $300,000
So much money.
last time I
let's
looked.
wait a second for the people that
Yeah.
are listening. We're talking about Representative, is it Matt Gates or
Gates.
Gates or
Gates.
Gates? Oh,
Gates.
well, why is it Zed? Is he groovy?
Gats.
Oh,
I don't know.
he
He's
looks like a-
covering up some ethnicity that he doesn't want anybody to know about.
Get it his Whatever we call. But anyway, when Roe vs. Wade was overturned, he got on Twitter because, that's not hurt anyone before. And he made this statement: how many of the women rallying against overturning Roe are overeducated, underloved millennials who sadly return from protests to a lonely microwave dinner with their cats and no Bumble matches? Oh, wow.
Well,
What?
who the fuck is still on Bumble, Matt Katz? Fuck. And second, I think Will Hawk, our friendly cartoonist, said it the best when he said, well, of course you don't find those women attractive. They all graduated from high school.
Oh, burn.
Oh, yes, Will.
Oh, way to go, Will.
Well, and allegedly, he secretly likes a dick.
Well, with that
I like
hairstyle,
it too.
I don't judge anybody's life choices. I just judge his personality. He's a fuckwit, and I don't
So
think
does
his vagina
Rubio.
or dick should be with him.
let's look at the hair. That is not
Look at the
heterosexual.
eyebrows.
That's not heterosexually managed hair because either some gay did it for him or he
Look
knows
at
his
that
way
fucking
around some
skin.
products to get that height. But those
It's that
eyebrows,
skin.
those eyebrows are early 2000s eyebrows.
He has
You
got
suck.
Lucille Ball in Maine makeup on in that photo. Okay. That shit is so caked onto his face, it ain't even funny. No.
Mhm.
And those McDonald arches for eyebrows, I just can never get over. He looks like Eddie Munster.
If Eddie Munster
He
was
is
a
Eddie
chauvinist
Munster.
pig. Well, we don't know about
My
Eddie.
light went
You
out.
never know.
Sorry, kid.
We don't know Eddie's stance on feminism, We'll have to ask Butch one day.
If you'd
Excuse
like
me,
to
sir.
come on the show and let us know, that'd be great.
Yeah, or before that,
Didn't he die?
Abort-
Isn't he one of the dead ones?
before that abortion of a
The dead
Munsters
one.
movie comes out. Oh,
Huh?
that Munsters movie. Oh,
Oh.
the
Oh.
trailer. Oh, made me feel physically ill. I
I haven't
can't.
seen it.
Oh, you don't want to. It's going to ruin any memory that you have of anything good to do with the Munsters. You're going to go, why? Why did they do this to you?
Rob
Why?
Zombie is an asshole.
Speaking of another why, we have to ask
I love
R.
you, Brooke.
Kelly's sisters
Oh.
why they think. Now, these are R. Kelly's sisters, and they are saying that the reason that a big reason why he is convicted and doing jail time is because he's black.
Oh.
Well, they're not wrong. Because Matt
But
Gaetz
he's
has
also
credible
not right.
allegations against him, and he's still walking around making bad jokes.
Right. And you look at Bill Cosby.
But they managed to bring in R. Kelly, who's just
Bill Cosby.
accused of similar things,
Roman Polanski's
I-
still out there.
Yeah, they're always very good at making the charges stick to black men.
Mhm.
That being said, I don't think R. Kelly's innocent, but I do think lots of other white men have committed this similar crimes and not been charged.
Mhm. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think if you're just a creeper, you should be convicted of being a creeper. It shouldn't matter.
I think he should be convicted of being a creeper, but I think there's lots of white creepers that aren't getting convicted. Like Matt Gaetz.
Otherwise, who's driving all the vans around town?
James
All the
Evans-
white guys who
All
don't
the
get
white
caught.
creepers are in jail. They can't drive the vans around town. Come on, guys, get with it. Rude. They can't do it. But, yeah, R. Kelly, dude. He believes
I
in
mean,
that
R.
fly.
Kelly is not innocent. We know that.
No, this
He
is correct.
practically confessed on TV. But there's lots of white men who've done similar crimes who are walking around free.
This is correct. This is correct. Some of
You
them
know?
are in office, or were previously
Some
in
of them
office.
A lot of
served
them.
as president.
Some of them,
Lots of them have served as president.
could be future
Exactly.
presidents, or past presidents.
Past
Well,
president.
some of them are Lauren Boebert.
Don't get fuck with. Oh my God.
Who's
Can we just
back?
get fuck with on parade today?
at it again? She is just not. She's not about that life, is she?
She's not sensitive to anything or anyone that isn't named Bobert.
V, do you want to tell the Australian folks, because they probably really won't
Sure.
get this. Do you want to fill us in?
Our vice president, lover or hater, was at a Americans with Disabilities Association luncheon. So because of the audience, she introduced herself as a black woman wearing a blue pantsuit and gave her pronouns. Well, apparently all of this was terribly triggering to Bobert, because without ever assuming for a minute that somebody in that audience would be blind and unable to identify this woman, or understand who, or partially sighted and wanting to pick out which woman she was on the dais, there's none of that sensitivity there. Miss Bobert got up on her high horse and just started, oh my God, you got to start with your pronouns. You've already lost. You're a fucking loser, blah, 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 blah. Only MAGAs win. Bobert is a bitch. What can I say?
She's just, we've had a very kind of a little similar moment this week in Parliament, where they decided to open proceedings with acknowledgement of country, which is basically acknowledging that, all Australian land is Aboriginal land, and,
Mm-hmm.
and saying, well, famous, some would say, bigot. Luke's not
You
here.
can use that
Not
word.
up. Pauline Hanson stood up and screamed that she never has recognised this as Aboriginal land, never would, and left proceedings before they even began, to the rest of the Senate laughing at her. Because she's just a joke, and she thinks that she still has legitimate thoughts that she's going to go on.
She has legitimate thoughts.
Go on and be some kind of ruling power in this country. I'm like, bitch, you've been on Dancing with the Stars.
And she literally, if you YouTube,
she did do very well
Pauline
in Dancing with the
Hanson,
Stars.
I don't like it. She had this parody, hilarious,
a drag queen, Pauline Pants Down,
Pauline
basically
Pants
took
Down,
all these audio clips and created songs of her. And, Pauline, God love her. She's an Australian anachronism, I think.
Yeah, America is not the only one with shitty politicians. They're fucking everywhere.
Oh, we've had posts.
Yeah,
sorry.
She sounds like a MAGA person.
She is very much that.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Yeah. If you've got the wrong colour skin, don't come near Pauline.
Oh, Michelle, this is why I love you. Oh, this is only my wife would say something like that.
Yeah, she's not really all there, poor Pauline, and but who does Lauren Bobert think she speaks for?
Jesus.
She speaks for the maggots.
Jesus. I just did a TikTok on this, and all the TikToks I do of her and the other moron there.
Marjorie Trader Green.
Every TikTok I do about those two idiots, people go nuts over. And they get the most comments, they get the most views, and it drives me nuts because I hate giving any air to either one of them. And the one was like, it's a picture of her, and she's like, I'm going to be whatever about God. I'm going to do, I'm the strongest on my knees. And I'm just like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say nothing.
Same.
The joke wrote itself. We don't have to say it.
Even Saturday Night Live would get that joke. I mean, come on. Low-hanging fruit.
No. Yeah, girl, we know you do your best work on your knees. We already know. The whole world knows.
Well, obviously,
does his best work at a high school.
Obviously not that good, because her husband's, out there flashing his bowling pin to underage girls.
He does his best work at a high school.
Yeah, he does. He likes the freshmen. What's his name? In Fast Time. It's like, what's his name in Fast Times? Good thing about high school girls. That keep
That
getting
wasn't
they
Fast
say the
Times.
same.
That
Oh,
was
what was
Matthew
that? That was
McConaughey and
in.
it wasn't Fast Times. It was
Oh, my
Ben
movie
Affleck
brain
was
is.
in it. I know that movie.
My movie brain is overrun.
I may
but
get
anyway.
older, but they stay the same age.
Same age.
Matthew
Like,
McConaughey. What is that movie?
Matthew
Oh, it's gonna
McConaughey.
kill me.
That's so rapey.
not
It's not
Ugh.
Fast Times. What
But,
is that movie?
Now I can't think of it either because I said Fast Times. Now I can't think of it as Fast Times. But anyway,
I'm gonna have to Google it because
what I'm
I
trying to
know
get
it.
at is, are there people in this demographic that
Poor Monica.
act like are there legit young people around that have these viewpoints? It's the American
yes,
way.
that's the part that's scary. Is there are people that believe them, and I can't get it.
Well,
You know?
I reposted. I didn't share it. I did download it. I don't know what to do with it yet. Just because it's so graphic, and I've avoided sharing this stuff of all these preachers across the country. It's almost, I think, a 10-minute TikTok. And it's just videos of preachers across the country talking about how the gays need to be essentially euthanized.
Oh.
And it's all her base. It's her and MTG. It's their base, right? They think the gays are causing all the problems, and that we need to be, and they're very graphic. It's talking about taking us out back and shooting us. And this is what's
Because
happening
sister
in
and brother
America all
fucking is
over.
fine.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
you can go and marry your cousin and fuck a chicken, but heavens to God, don't be gay. Like, what the fuck?
Well,
And
I'm
it's
sorry.
pretty intense.
I will go to my grave believing that the worst homophobes are closeted homosexuals.
All right.
Well, there's
Agreed.
no hate like Christian, no love like Christian hate. What the fuck? And I can't even think of how. Say it, Brett. Somebody help. No hate like Christian love. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel
Either
good.
way, you're right.
Yeah.
Either way, you're right.
Whichever.
It's scary, but we're going to blow up about that later because I have a lot of feelings about the topic that we will
Dazed
discuss.
and confused.
There we go. Thank you.
Dazed and confused.
Wow,
was
you all
like
were
googling that the whole time.
real
I
serious.
was like, I know what movie this is.
Yeah, Vera's very serious about it.
I
John
feel dazed
Stewart
and
is a very
confused.
serious gentleman too, and took his grievances to Capitol Hill as well. Like, I love it when people blow
Solidarity,
up about
John.
Yeah. So again, Vera, for the Australians, because again, this is not an Australian story. Do you want to brief the Australians?
John Stewart, famous.
We know who
comedic
John Stewart is.
pundit.
His show is on here late at night, but I don't know if he's that popular.
Has been a very staunch advocate for first responders and military men. And he has gone to Congress repeatedly to lobby for benefits for our soldiers and our firefighters and our police officers. And once again, all of these Republicans have let down John Stewart. They had, there was a bill, I can't remember the name of the bill, that expired that safeguarded rights for veterans and military personnel. And the alternative, the secondary bill that was going to take over for it, was called the PACT Act. And it was designed to provide funding for medical care and lifetime care for soldiers with PTSD or military inaction wounds. It had all sorts of veterans benefits and actual active soldier pay benefits in it. And was voted down by the Republicans, who swear to God that they love the military and they love the police. These people are hypocrites from the word get. They don't love anything but themselves and power. And they have let down John Stewart again.
I think that's so upsetting and disturbing that people believe in your country, and not only your country, but our country, so much that they will put their lives and their health on the line to come back and not you owe that to them. them being the ones that are going to go out there and fight for your rights. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Just to sit
You
back at
know,
home and have their point of view because these people have done the job.
yeah. I have had cousins, uncles, grandparents in the military my entire life. I mean, service was part of our family credo, you know? And whether they were Republican or Democrat didn't matter. They were fighting for the country and the democracy that they believed in. And they deserve recognition as the true guardians of freedom. You know, if you can make the argument that we aren't free, that the oligarchs have been running this country since Reagan, you can make all the arguments you want. But these young men have put themselves in harm's way to protect an ideal, whether that ideal lives or doesn't live. And they deserve our support every single day, from the moment they sign up till the moment they die. It's that simple. It's not a political issue.
Yeah. And we're not that blind anymore that we think that people can go to war and come back and be absolutely fine.
Exactly.
Like we've seen that, you know, the ramifications of war are not only physical, like, you know, all these people that have come back with ailments, missing limbs, all that kind of some kind of disability, but the mental health of these soldiers got like the PTSD alone is enough to like really cripple people, and to not for a government that they have fought for to not back them up and look after them is disgusting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Criminal. It's hypocritical. It's criminal. It's heinous. It's disgusting. And I think we should remember their names, and I think we should say them out loud every single day. And I bet you money that Jon Stewart will do that.
Look, it's good to know that some people are still fighting. Like, who? Is it Mike Pence? Is Mike Pence going to run for office?
He's talking like he wants to. Yeah.
Did I hear correctly this quote this week? We saved the babies, and now we're going to save America.
I didn't hear that directly, but it wouldn't surprise me if that.
I heard it on the news the other night. I snapped my neck around and went, "Kumquat," and just went, "Oh, that's a bold statement." Like, instead of caring about these penises, care about your soldiers.
I'm sure one of them.
We saved those babies, but we're going to make sure their life is such hell that they don't have any choice but to enlist to a military war. And
we only care when they're inside the woman. We don't care once they're born. We don't care. We don't care if they have health insurance or they have mental health.
We don't care if they have an education. We don't care if they have food. We don't care anything about them once they're outside the womb.
Nope. As long as we can control the woman, that's all that matters.
Well.
Yeah. And the children subsequently.
Welcome to America.
Segue. Miss American Dream, since she was 17, a woman that was controlled herself, is stepping back into the spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the return of one Miss Britney Spears, as it's been revealed this week that she has recorded a brand new version, a duet version, of Elton John's hit Tiny Dancer, which is due to hit the airwaves in August. Now, Britney's been also in the news for people that follow pop music and pop culture because she was singing live and unassisted on her Instagram.
That's hot.
Was it hot?
It was very interesting because it was the voice that she had at the very beginning of her career, which is, you know, probably nearly an octave lower.
Not. It's if you just listen to it, you're like, is that Christina Aguilera? And then it changes into some shit, and then it changes into some other shit, and then you're like, ooh, and then you're like, oh, where's she? Okay.
So she's done an a cappella version of Baby One More Time, which is just her and her phone. There's for people that are in the know, it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it is definitely very, very different to the baby fucker voice that she's been forced to use for the majority of her career.
Oh, so much better than that synthesized bullshit that's on her last 10 albums.
She should have an adult voice.
She belts. She uses her chest and all that kind of chest voice resonance. Beautiful. There's growl. She flicks into falsetto. It's all this good stuff. So Elton, who previously also gave Britney a bit of a bash, is very impressed. Everyone at the label is very impressed. They think it's going to be a hit. So apparently,
one of my favorite Elton John tunes.
It'll be interesting to see what she sounds like on it, because
everybody
didn't sound great. He's not going to release it.
The comments on that video on TikTok, all the fans want her to re-release that song in that style, like to her just do it, and I'd be real curious to see how the response would be.
This is the thing that she was fighting for behind the scenes. She said for the last however 15 to 16 to 20 years that she's actually been fighting to do remixes and re-release her older stuff. But they're like, no, these are the versions that sold, so these are the versions that you'll sing. It's like, oh, wow, okay. Well, not even sing. They'll put a track on and you just fart ass around to it. The microphone is on, but the microphone's so down in the mix that you can't even hear it. You can when you're in the audience, though, I found. So I've seen her live twice, and there's been actual live vocals in both shows. There's been like times when it is solely her, but the majority of the time they've got her so buried in the track that she is actually singing. You can physically see that she's singing, but you can't hear it. So what's the point?
Yeah, and I think that's the shame of modern mixology. You know, you have these sound engineers who can blend out voices completely. You know, you can auto-tune the worst singer and give a career to somebody who's just a pair of tits and not really a singer. You know, I think that's...
Can I get that done, please? I would love for somebody to auto-tune the shit out of me just so I can do it one time.
It
one
makes
time.
Me want better tits. I just...
Right.
I've always wanted better tits. I always swore if I won the lottery, I'd buy a pair. And
I'm like, that's why we're going to Thailand. No, we're going to Thailand, Kira. We're going to
get go to Taiwan. They're about to get invaded.
Did you guys see?
Sorry.
Since we're just speak, this isn't an article, but did you guys see floating around on social media since we're talking about it? Did we see Joni Mitchell performing?
Yes. I thought she did pretty well.
I thought she's 78.
She's a million, yeah.
Yeah. She sang from both sides now, which was a bit emotional, wasn't it? Poor Winona Judd was in the background just sobbing. Like,
oh my god.
Winona's had a tough time.
I don't know her.
She's got a lot of feelings right now.
She does. God love her. She lost her mum, and then she's got to sit at. She's sitting behind another musical legend who's like, let's face it, she's 78. She's not going to be popping around and doing a world tour.
She's got some autoimmune disorder.
She's been very sick for a long time. But she actually got up and played guitar and everything at this concert. It was like I was like, you go, girl. But the reason that I want to bring this up, have you heard Bon Jovi sing recently?
No. Is he bad?
People are actively leaving the shows. Like they start like they think he may actually have some kind of medical condition because he obviously can't sing to the pitch that he used to before. His range has decreased, but he's all like his timing's all out, and like he's slurring words and stuff, and all that kind. Like I've read various reports of people going, "Oh yeah, it's not cute." You're like, "Oh, girl."
So he's going through something.
Male vanity will do it to you every time. It's just like, let it go. How much more money do you need? Just stop touring.
Well, this is the most disgusting part about America, right? At what point does somebody in charge of something step in and say, "You're
Maybe
not
it's time
okay.
to stop. Yeah.
We need to pull the plug." Live Nation or whoever's running this tour, somebody's got to be promoting it. Pull the plug and say, "We need to go get you help because you're more valuable alive than dead."
Well, look what they
Like,
did to
this
Whitney
is the
Houston.
problem.
She probably really shouldn't have been touring when she did.
No, you could. I mean, just look, and the woman like gave, and that was the part that always upset me was people ripping her apart so much, but you could see like she was trying with everything in her soul to sing for those people, and they were all so vicious, and that was, I think, the hardest part to watch about it was like to go up there and to know, you know what I mean? There was no way that she wasn't aware that she sounded terrible and that she couldn't do it. And to go up there
she didn't
and
necessarily.
to
I
be
don't think she necessarily sounded terrible.
well,
She
to
just
do "I Will Always Love You,"
Yeah.
she sounded terrible.
She wasn't
I mean,
at the vocal that she was when. I mean, that's
some of the
fucking hard
other
song.
songs she could very pull off, but I mean, too, you know what I mean? She had emphysema. She had a lot of things going on. You know, the voice just it was very, very different.
She also sang at a very intense vocal tension, which probably burned out those vocal cords really young. You know, plus there's
that last album she did in the 2000s that really got so much hate because she kind of went over to more R&B, and it was like
Too
Little
like
Too Late with Black People. Me Too. It was great. You could hear it then. You could hear that she was losing that lower register. The higher register wasn't there. You can hear all of that in that album. And that was kind of when she's, you know, in interviews and stuff where she talked about she was losing her voice. You know, I always thought it was metaphorical. And then it was like, oh, no, she was serious that she didn't think she would ever sing again because the voice was gone.
It was the same thing with Shania Twain. Like, she suffered badly from the Lyme disease. Really, really fucked her voice, and she struggles. And I appreciate it more when you do hear her live. Like, so what? You can't sing it in the key that was originally it. Like, have you seen Diana Ross in London? Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No,
don't do it.
Stereo Gum is reporting that Jon Bon Jovi has not been able to recover his vocal abilities since COVID. This is a post-COVID voice for Jon.
Which is true. I've actually found that as well. Like, just doing vocal stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, that's not there anymore for some reason. It's taken a long time to actually, you know, figure out what's going on. And register-wise and all that kind of stuff. But Diana Ross is making a tit of herself as well. Like, I know that everyone thinks she's a legend diva, queen of the night, but whatever. If you listen, it's not good. Like, someone tell these people.
Send me a clip.
I was about to say, someone in their camp needs to actually say something.
Yeah.
There's got to be a point where that damages your legacy, right?
Yeah, because like, they're out there and people are going, oh, you've still got it. You're amazing. And they're destroying this.
That's kind of
this reputation that they build.
The part of celebrity that's mind-blowing to me is at what point does a person like lose they lose in touch with stuff that they stop having people around that hold the mirror up to them, you know, that they just surround themselves with yes people, that they stop having
in the last days.
Yeah. Oh, that movie.
He can barely walk.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think it's necessarily the celebrity themselves. They start making a certain amount of money for other people.
Right.
And then they get what they want, no matter what it is.
Well,
you know
and
then
the other people keep them
right,
going.
But at some point you lose touch with, you know what I mean? If you go into it knowing, especially in today's day and age, right? If you have somebody that has half a brain that knows And two, I think when you're younger, you know what I mean? If you're 17, 18 going into this, it's your mind's not developed. You know, it is a little bit different. But for somebody that's a little bit older, if you go into this, you know what I mean, and you hit mega stardom, you should have a pretty solid core in you to say, okay, I have to keep people around me. They're gonna check my ass when I get out of control. Or
We do have
gonna say, get your ass off stage.
We do have someone that watching that can probably attest to that. Hi, Katie Underwood. How are you? Long time no see.
How are
We
you?
hope you're good. She's doing pop star. She's got a pop star moment happening again. Woo! We love it.
And
But
her vocal control is fabulous.
Yes,
It's crazy.
We love Kate. We love a bit of Katie just quietly. So we're going to talk comebacks to start with. So during the week we've had San Diego Comic-Con, and very soon you'll have D23, which is, you know, Disney's upfronts. But Sister Act 3, from the word of her own mouth, is happening, will happen, is coming. Is a script is written. We're just look at there's a director. It's coming.
There's so many unanswered questions.
I know there's a conversation that one of our regular posters said they should have stopped at part 1. Who doesn't love Sister Act 2? How dare?
Okay, it wasn't as strong as the first one. I mean, the second one's good for what it was. I went and saw it in the theater.
I didn't hate.
Right, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like the first one had its own vibe, right? And I think had they kind of they could have put her in that kind of trouble again. You know what I mean? Instead, they went on a different angle. But what's concerning to me now is Whoopi's health, right? She's not in great health. She's having trouble walking. You know, how physically is she going to be able to do this role?
She does look like she's lost a little bit of weight, though.
I
saw her last.
Really seen her. So that's a little concerning. I not that she needs to be thin or whatever to do the role. But I'm like, if she can't, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to have a Sister Act without Whoopi Goldberg on stage doing that? Oh, you know what I mean? Like, that is Sister Act.
Excuse me, not Whoopi Goldberg. Dolores Van Cartier. I love it. How can you not love Sister? I mean, hello. For Lauryn Hill alone is worth it. I'm sorry. I call you Rita, diva with a toot. I'm like, oh, she was a bitch in that show. I was like, yes. Jennifer Love Hewitt, not saying anything, going.
But it didn't have the charm of the original.
It was a different kind of charm, and it gave every choir everywhere in the world reason to sing. The joyful love is And if you were a child in a choir in the 90s,
in a Catholic school,
yeah.
Someone else was part of the charm of the original Sister Act. Is I remember all those hymns. Hail, Holy Queen, and
yes, I know, right?
Oh,
Maria. I know
my favorite. It's so cute. There are a lot of those. Someone else from the 90s is having to come back. Revealed at San Diego Comic-Con as well. This one came out of nowhere. Sarah Michelle Gellar is returning to television.
I gotta say.
Yeah?
Is it just me, or has she had so much plastic surgery she now looks like Melanie Griffith?
Oh, she does! I thought so too!
I thought it was when you put the picture. I thought the outfit looks amazing though.
Yes, the outfit does look amazing.
I would like Kitty in that outfit, but we might need a bigger top. So Sarah's actually going to be. Sarah's going to be starring in a Teen Wolf spin-off called Wolfpack. So it'll be Teen Wolf, the TV show, is coming back for a movie.
So many unanswered questions.
I know, right? But this is a spin-off, and they're coming back. So Buffy fans.
So is she going to be
around
Buffy?
the world? No, she's not going to be Buffy. She's going to be someone else. Now, the last time we saw Sarah on TV was with Robin Williams.
So she's gonna be Buffy.
Wow.
Yeah, the last time Sarah was on TV was with Robin before Robin passed away. That show is actually brilliant. I enjoyed that show immensely. I thought she actually showed some comic chops, but it'll be interesting to see, what kind of character she plays and how she plays it and da-da-da-da-da. Because we forget she's an actress. She did do other things other than Buffy. She was Daphne.
Oh,
she was
yeah.
Catherine.
Especially, what was that movie? She was in the love story with the magic crab, and she was a chef, Simply Irresistible.
Don't talk about Simply Irresistible. We've all locked it out. Wasn't it a lobster?
Lobster. No, it was a crab. It was a
Crab or
crab.
a lobster? Okay.
I don't
think it was
even
a
know
crab.
what
You haven't
movie you're
seen
talking
Simply
about.
Irresistible?
It's a crustacean.
Look it up. It's on. It's streaming right now.
I'm like, you
Don't
can't
know
tell me
why.
what to do. You're not my real mom.
Who
A
is
magic
watching
crab.
that? Even
Jackie
the
is.
Buffy fan, even the Buffy fan base watching that went like this. Oh, Sarah. No girl. No girl. Now, this is strictly Australian news, but we cannot let it pass without mentioning it. So I'm sorry to the Americans, but we got to bring
okay.
it up, kids.
We
Last
do
night,
the American shit all the time on you guys.
ladies and gentlemen, after 8,903 episodes and 37 years,
Wow.
Australia's iconic, longest running soap opera, Neighbours, ended its run, and it was actually really good. I've got to say, I haven't
I
watched
didn't watch it
Neighbours.
yet.
I haven't
watch it
watched
yet.
Neighbours regularly in about 15 years, I don't think. But chef's kiss on the last episode. It was like they brought people back from the original run in the 80s. That the final montage had like characters that had died sitting with characters that were alive. It was so nicely done. And the biggest thing is that they've had a huge over 30 plus returning stars, and some of those stars are actually stars. You're looking at Kylie Minogue, Natalie Imbruglia, Holly Valance, Delta Goodrem, Guy Pearce, Jesse Spencer, and the newly minted highest paid woman in Hollywood, Miss Margot Robbie, also appeared on the show that gave her start. So she actually sent 37 bottles of champagne to the set on the last day of filming.
Wasn't Margot in Mariel's wedding?
Margot Robbie? No.
No.
She's too young.
I was like, she was little.
Yeah. So fare thee well, Neighbours. We love you. It was a nice send off. I'm trying to equate what it would be like for America. Like it would be like if something like Days of Our
When
Lives.
all my
Lives.
children and
Yeah, it's
when my
Days
of Our
children, when they got
Lives.
canceled. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been the springboard for a lot of careers, not just acting careers, but music careers, film careers, and it's done. It's a very
Sarah
sad day.
Michelle Gellar came from All My Children.
All My Children.
Erica Kane and Susan Lucci. So yeah.
Yeah. La Lucci. The La Lucci.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone's ready we're going to talk sport. I know, very strange. In this week's The View from
Fuck, I'm about to leave again.
Now again. No, you'll like
Have a
this
good
one.
show.
An Australian story that
Have a
is
good
getting
show.
traction
Great show.
everywhere. Now.
All right.
Ah.
This is
Then
I
the
changed my
Eagles
mind.
NRL team. Look, Jeff, I've changed my mind. There's buff men on this.
they are
And here
having
for,
a-
We are courting a little bit of controversy here. And the story has developed once again since we've come on live about the rainbow stripes on their jerseys, which are, there for pride. That this is the first ever NRL pride game, like official NRL pride game. And excuse me, 7 of the players for the team refused to play because the promotion of LGBTQ plus individuals was against their religious teachings.
They can suck my dick.
Now,
Yeah.
let's have a random feel. How do we feel about that to begin with?
I'm with Vera.
Well, I don't see. So this is a problem, right? When we start taking away anybody's freedom, there's a problem. So if we start taking away somebody's religious freedom of we're forcing them to represent something they don't believe in, where's the line that we have to
I don't
draw?
think that they're being forced to represent something they don't believe in. I think they're being encouraged to accept their teammates who play something else, who believe something else.
The biggest hullabaloo that's happening here is that's correct. It is your religious freedom to not promote something that you don't believe in. The other logos on this shirt, however, PointsBet is an online-based gambling service.
Oh.
They are also supported by alcohol companies, which good Christians aren't supposed to gamble. They're allowed to drink, but they are not supposed to promote drunkenness. So, yes, religious freedom. Yes, we shouldn't be excluding people. But
the hypocriticalness is a problem.
To pick and choose from your religion.
Yeah.
What parts you will like and what parts you don't is again your choice. But very hypocritical when you're doing it for a payday.
But that's kind of the biggest problem with religion is the hypocriticalness, right? Because you have all these people that are talking about the gays or abortion. I don't see anybody in the religious community going and boycotting divorces. That's a mortal sin. I don't see anybody boycotting the Catholic Church and the cover-up of all the boys that were molested by priests. I don't see any religious people boycotting oh my God, why can't I think of the Boy Scouts and all the boys that were molested from straight Boy Scout leaders. I don't see any religious
how about
people.
All the evangelical leaders that were accused of sexually assaulting women and young girls.
There you go.
Nobody's
all those backdoor abortions that happen, and people, go away to live with Aunt Sarah and then return with a baby sister.
And I don't see them condemning
to study abroad.
All of the men that had extramarital affairs that left they're not doing that because why? Because they're picking and choosing.
Right.
So it's a problem.
So the reaction to this,
thou shalt not steal. How many of these fucking shysters are ripping off the common man, stealing their money every day with a promise of a life hereafter?
There's a bit more to the story as well, because the first openly gay NRL player that came out in the 1990s. Played for Manly as well, and Ian Roberts is very upset about it, obviously, because the club that he played for are now supporting, or not necessarily supporting, because the club itself has made a hard line saying that we will not get rid of this jersey. This is the message that we want to give, and that's big. I thought there would be more the other way, but a lot of the news in Australia is going, hey, get with the program and get on, hi, mama. get on with, the modern day, which is really interesting. There's fuck Manly jerseys that are sold out now with rainbow pride stuff all over it. But in an update, these players are now playing.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
I hope they get stuff thrown at them. What a pack of dickheads.
Well, this is the thing. We shouldn't, and I look at it this way as well. If they had a religious objection, that's fine. But the media is also doing the most now to make them look like villains. If they don't want to play, they don't have to play. But I don't think they need a vilification. Just don't play.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, religious freedom is thrown around a lot these days. And it means the freedom to practice as you believe.
Right.
It does not mean the freedom to impose your religion on anybody else. If they believe that playing in this team that promotes inclusion is a violation of their religion, then that's fine.
Don't play.
Don't play.
Yeah.
Shut up and
But
don't
now,
play.
because they've gotten their airtime and they're risking a paycheck, their religion no longer matters, and they'll play in the jerseys because everyone's told them they're idiots. Honestly, I'd have just suspended them for a match. Don't pay them.
If I was
Just
a
none.
gay team member and they refused to wear a jersey, I would be pissed. I would not have their back.
Everyone's going on about how, especially in our comments, they're like, "Oh, we should be happy that the LGBTQ plus people are being accepted." I'll wait while you find me an out NRL player that is actively playing. I'll wait. Google. It's not happening.
No, there's no point in Googling it because it'll be a waste of my data.
It's not happening. Still, this is a very recent thing. And to say that just because there is a stripe on a jersey, that everything's hunky-dory and well done and all that kind of stuff, there is still systemic racism in football. All you need to do is go and sit in the audience and hear some of the thing. Audience, crowd. Oh my God, audience. You can tell I'm a theatre person. Sit in the audience at the football. Sit in the crowd at the football. And hear some of the stuff that gets yelled at the players while they're on the field. Right. You're like, what the fuck is it, 1923?
Let's not forget that in American football, there was a college player named Michael Sams who was considered the finest player in the country, who came out before the draft and is now coaching a high school team in Ohio.
Yeah. So,
and that team in Ohio should absolutely smash it.
Let's get him
probably
on the show.
Love him. Michael Sams.
My big thing is progression doesn't mean that there's any less oppression.
Right.
Right. We've taken a step in the right direction. Doesn't mean that it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We haven't fixed it.
No. But there is one thing that we dream is never over, and that is a section of the show that we like to call the event. Okay, Miss V, she's here, she's ready. So in 3, 2, 1, let's vent.
This vent's gonna sound a little strange, given that I've voiced a couple of really harsh, hardline opinions about people who I don't agree with in this show. But every once in a while, I do throw this cause a bone. I do believe in it. It's been a hell of a week globally. We've got sub-Saharan watering holes that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, drying up, and animals dying in the Africa because they have no place to drink. We have parts of the Amazon that are still on fire every day. We have Lake Mead here in the United States that is historic lows, which is the drinking source for millions and millions of Americans. We are in the throes of another pandemic, and we apparently did not learn anything from the first pandemic because it's not going away anytime soon. We are also in the throes of global recession and inflation, and people are hurting. Not to mention, we're on the verge of World War III. Biden's throwing down with China, China's throwing down with Biden, and everybody's pissed at Russia. We're on the verge of a world of hurt. We need to get our act together. We need to stop letting things be divisive. The New York Times did an article this week with Trump voters and Biden voters. And if you break every issue down to one core sentence, the amount of agreement is overwhelmingly majority. Do you think we're heading in the wrong direction? Overwhelmingly majority. Do you think we need to act on global climate change? Overwhelming majority say yes. Do you think that we need to do something about pandemics? Overwhelmingly, they say yes. they may not agree on the methodology because we've been pushed and shoved and told to be divisive. But we got to get our act together, because if we don't, the one thing we're going to do is die together.
Damn straight. Damn straight. I mean, we've seen it with all the Roe vs. Wade stuff, hiding the fact that we're trying to prove that the former president is a criminal. There are all these little topics that are hiding the bigger topics. One of which we're going to talk about before we leave in this week's What the Fuck. What the? Because, y'all, I don't know if you know, but Terminator was not just a movie. It's a historical fact. Skynet is real. Because recently, in Russia, of all places, at a chess tournament, a chess-playing robot I shouldn't laugh. Crushed and broke the finger of a 7-year-old Chinese boy who was playing with him because he moved too quickly. The robots are real, kids. The robots are coming.
There was a scientist, and I can't think of his name because, I'm getting old, who said that robots are starting to exhibit sentient behavior.
It's the guy from Google. Isn't it the guy from Google that's doing all this stuff that got
more
fired?
And more signs of artificial intelligence, robot intelligence.
Got fired because he says the AI is sentient and is starting to develop emotions.
Yes. I know.
Mate, you don't want a fucking PMSing robot.
It's going to be Wall-E. The only thing alive is going to be a plant.
They're supposed to be like Rosie and help us out. Mr. J, come on, Mr. J.
It's going to be like every bad movie where all the electronics come to life and start attacking the living shit out of us.
Yes.
So now we're going to have to start worrying about the mental health of our robots?
No, because they're going to kill us.
They're going to have more arms than we are.
I know. They're going to have lasers coming out of the patoots, and it'll be all like...
Our cars are going to be like chasing us and shit.
And I don't know about y'all.
Until we're dead.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm not built for the Mad Max desert lifestyle.
No, I'm not either.
Humidity.
I'll
just tap out.
I used to say this in grade school when we would study the covered wagons rolling across the Great Plains. I'd have just laid down in the grass and said, "Leave me here to die. I don't want to get to the other coast." No, you would not be here.
You would have been on the back of that horse.
No.
Bonanza! Here comes Vera riding down the very bumpy hill. Michael Landon.
Oh, Lord. He ain't wrong.
She loves it. I'm not wrong. And I'm glad that we all acknowledge that. We love that Vera loves a bit of, Dr. Quinn medicine woman lifestyle. She's about
She loves
that
her
life.
horse rides.
She does love her. She always takes the bumpiest streets home. Oh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have survived. We may not survive the future, but we have survived this week. So thank you for joining us on Uncensored Radio. We got stuff happening next week. Don't know what kind of stuff. Who knows who'll be hosting the Monday show? Probably Dana. Let's see if Dana can do a 3 for 3 on Monday. Tuesday, who knows? Wednesday, we know Guilty Pleasures is coming, but we will be back on Friday. God, we're lazy not doing anything on Thursdays. Oh, so rude.
It's Thursday here in the States.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, Thursday in Australia. I mean, Thursday in Australia. We've got a day off.
Guilty Pleasures air on Thursday in Australia? So it airs on Wednesday night here.
Yeah, I don't know. Something happened. We have a day off. That's all I know.
Semantic Vera? Oh my God.
There's no days off in Australia. Oh,
there are no days off when you.
Off.
There is no days off when you work for Jeffrey Emmett. There is only time.
Oh.
There's no paycheck.
Oh, girl. Look at him. He's going to read me for filth. Good night, people. We'll see you next week. Look, honestly,
Steven!
I'm kind of just waiting for the day where I wake up to Santa Connor. Yes.
I
Take
wanna
me,
know
robots. I'm
why
ready.